I got asked a cool question the other day. Some chap emailed me, texted me, whatever it was, and said, I've got I think it was a Canon 1100D, 1100D or 1200D. Anyway, it had the smaller sensor. And he said, I want to upgrade my lens, basically. What would you recommend for landscapes? So initially, I would automatically think something like the Sigma or the Canon 10x22, because it's a smaller sensor. That gives you nice and wide. But if you're thinking of moving up to a full frame camera, eventually one day, which I did, I had the Canon 350D, I had the Canon 40D, and I knew that I was going to move up to a larger sensor because that's just the way I was heading. So that in mind, when I had the money and I wanted to buy my new wider landscape lens, I bought the Canon 17-40 L series lens. Lush bit of kit. I think it's the cheapest of the Canon L series lenses. It's a full frame lens which can still be used on a smaller crop sensor like the 1200Ds, the 1100s, the 40Ds, the 50Ds, 70Ds, 600Ds. Yeah, like I say, I knew I was going to be moving up to full frame one day. It worked brilliant on my Canon 40D and my Canon 350D. Not overly wide. I think it kicked out about 24mm, something like that, not as wide. But then when I eventually moved up to a full frame, my battered old Canon 5D Mark II here, I had a full frame lens, nice bit of glass, ready to rock and roll straight onto my full frame camera. So yeah, if you're going to go down the road of you know you're going to move up to full frame eventually, I would buy the glass rather sooner than later, so you've got it ready for when you move up. If you're not going to move up to a full frame and you're going to stick with a smaller crop sensor, yeah, I mean, Sigma do a nice 10x20mm wide angle lens, Canon do a 10-20 or 22. Yeah, just a little thought. Cool. If that UV filter gets stuck on the front of your lens, get the wife's marigolds out, the old rubber gloves. Works a treat. Comes off beauty. Cheers. Just been in to do my weekly shop, and every now and again they have these on special. Pledge Electronics. Cleaning wipes. Absolutely brilliant for doing the screen of my computer, all my laptops, and the body of my camera. When I've used my brush and I've got all the hard bits out, and on the outside of my lenses, these are absolutely brilliant. Keep them in your camera bag again. My camera bag's getting everywhere and everywhere. I've got so much junk chucked in the bottom. But these are absolutely brilliant. Like I say, you get your brush around your camera, around all the buttons, and then this here is brilliant for wiping off the kind of white residue you get off your skin that sits on your camera and your lenses. Streak-free shine. Cool. If you're anything like me, I can't walk 50 meters without seeing a picture. Everywhere, I see pictures all the time, everywhere. Of course, there's not enough hours in a day for you to take all these pictures, and the light's not always as you want it to take the pictures. So we've always got our mobile phones with us. If ever I'm out and about, see a picture, grab it on my mobile phone. So if ever I'm planning a shoot to go out and take some pictures, and I can't think of anywhere to go, get my phone out, look in my folders, loads of pictures I can go and visit. If you're looking for a brush to clean in and around the buttons, all the top in there, because it gets dusty, I live with 3 women and there's loads of makeup brushes around the house. I don't use them for myself, so I can't say what part of the body this is used on. I'm guessing it's the eyelashes, but absolutely brilliant for cleaning in and around the buttons. Don't know what it is, look in the wife's drawer, brilliant. Failing that, toothbrush, preferably one that hasn't been used. Brilliant for getting in and around the buttons. Spot on. In the last video I did, photography hints and tips, just loads and loads of little quick tips. I mentioned about when you're shooting raw files can take up a lot of space. I said just get yourself an external hard drive and you can just dump all your raw files on that. Well, they look like this. This is loads of different makes on the market. This is a WD Elements one. They come in 320 gigabytes, 500 gigabytes, 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes. Brilliant. 1 terabyte I think cost about 50 quid I paid for mine. That will hold loads and loads and loads. So brilliant. Yeah, I've got 2. They've both got exactly the same information on, and I've always got one in my camera bag, and I've always got one beside the computer. So if the hard drive of my computer packs up, I've got 2 hard copies. If my house burns down and my computer burns down along with this copy, I've still got a copy on me. Sounds anal, but I've got loads and loads of pictures on there, and I've got every picture that I've taken of my children on there as well, so I don't want to lose them. Another good thing is, which they make, I don't think it's anything to do with those, you can get empty boxes that look exactly the same as these. If you've got any old laptops kicking around the house, what you do is you take the hard drive out, unscrew it, take it out, I think it's 2.5 inch, I'm sure it's 2.5 inch, and then you put the hard drive that you've taken out your laptop in there, close it up, and you've got an external hard drive. Plug it into your laptop, format it. I think it's called something like FAT32 or something like that, some format option. Job's a good one. After you've taken a picture in landscape format, flip the camera over and grab some part of the scene, the main part of the scene if you can, in portrait format. Then if a magazine editor sees your landscape shot and says, oh, have you got that in portrait, make a brilliant front cover, you've got it. Front covers are pretty cool. Probably the cheapest tripod I own, but one I use a lot, is this. I think you actually get them free when you order stuff off eBay sometimes. Dinky little thing, legs pull out. I think even if you want to buy one, they only cost about £5. Brilliant, because we've all got tripods that cost an absolute fortune, but they don't get down really small and close to the floor. So sometimes, brilliant. Literally, you can get your lens 6 inches off the floor. Well worth, only small, leave it in the bottom of your bag. Cool, brilliant. If you're like me and you haven't got an L bracket on your camera yet to fix it to the tripod, if you're still using just the old Manfrotto basic system, clip it in, ball head, whichever, and you're using these, buy a load of them. If you look on eBay, you can pick them up for absolutely peanuts. So I've got one 70 to 200mm lens, got one on there. Camera, got one on there. I've got a Sigma 200 to 400 lens, something like that, and I've got one on each. So I've always got one. I've got one on everything to go on the tripod, because there's nothing worse when you're out on a shoot, grab a lens out your bag, oh bugger, and you're forever digging in your bag. Put one on everything. I know the Manfrotto ones cost an absolute arm and a leg, but these copies cost about £3, and I can't tell the difference. They look exactly, in fact, I don't know which one's Manfrotto and which one's a copy, because they both look exactly the same and they do exactly the same job. So well worth buying loads of them. Chuck one on everything. One on obviously your big lenses, you have them on, because when you mount your lens, your camera and big lens on a tripod, you fix the lens to the tripod because of the weight of it. So yeah, brilliant. Buy loads, chuck them on everything. Then you're never not without one. Cool. If you're losing your mojo a little bit, instead of going out with the intentions of getting a picture, that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on yourself. Just go out for a walk, but take your camera along. Just be out there, be in the environment, and the pictures will just pop out of the landscape. Cool. When you're scouting out good locations for photos, if you come into a field and a horse starts chasing you, don't run, because you fall down an O and fracture your ankle. What a muppet.